Alright, thanks anybody who has already joined. Just getting everything set up here. We will roll here in about 2.5 minutes. And my YouTube is freaking out. Hopefully not on the other side. There we go. Looking good. So round number 7 here, it'll be Road Atlanta, clear skies. Probably see a little bit of evening as it progresses. We'll roll at 32. Alright, we are just a minute away here. Roll at 32 here once we get rolling. 14 drivers, Road Atlanta. We got a 60-minute race. This is round number 7. The finishing order here is only for the points. The grid for the next race, the finale, will be set by the overall points. So currently that's being held by the Greek team. And I'll be honest, unless they have a catastrophic mess here, it will be them on the pole for the next race. We are ready to roll, though, here. 60 minutes coming up for Road Atlanta. We are in the 2016 GT 500 cars. I do see much like last time, it is all Nissan and Honda. So we'll let the load up here. We'll get in and get our stuff set up, and then we will be rolling. There we go. We got Zaskar on the pole, Mastras in the second spot, Mopar and Mustang in the next row, Hunted and Valentine in row 3. Row 4 is going to be Tyro and Chris, Fiend and Tokes in row 5, Chip Reese and Jose in row 6, and row 7 is going to be MTB and Queen. And the lights are out, and away they go. Zaskar off into the lead. We'll kind of keep an eye as we go here. Tricky course here at Road Atlanta. One of the favorites in the votes we had, so definitely what everybody prefers is this one here. Zaskar off to the good lead. Mopar a little bit wide there, but holding on. Oh, Tyro is sliding a little bit there, but does hold on to it. Queen looking to the inside of Chip Reese. Chip just a little bit wide there. Tough spot to be side by side. They tuck back in, and nose to tail they go. Oh, we got a 3 wide. 3 wide action here. That's Queen, or MTB is going to make the pass on Fiend and Chip. As Chris in the 14th spot right now. Not sure if he had an off there. Chip will serve his penalty. And we go back to the front. Zaskar out front, just under a second. He's rolling in the Honda. So we got the Honda, then we got the GTR in the second spot, Mastras. Mustang and Mopar side by side, the Ford versus Mopar battle. We saw this a couple of rounds ago. Panty Droopers out in the grass a little bit with Hunted. I do believe he kept that thing pointed in the right direction, but Valentine looking to close in on the back of these two. And, a little bit of contact there. Didn't catch it in time. Oh, almost saved it. Mopar spins it around. Nobody else gets collected there. Not sure exactly what happened. Like I say, it happened as I flipped over there. We jump back up. Got Bottle Fed, Valentine, Hunted, Tyro. Tyro in the 6th spot, looking to close in on the back of Hunted. Got a little bit of a gap to Jose, then Queen. Queen under pressure from MTB, or Boning. M. Boning. I think it was, oh man, I don't know. Yes, Lisa Ethan is going to be Hunted Steel. You'll see him on there. As Queen will forfeit that spot to Boning. They continue on. Let's see, we got Valentine closing in on the back of Mustang. 3.6 now the gap in the front, so the Infinite Octane Racing brought it today. They're trying to win all 3. If they can do that, it still will not get them the win unless Grease has problems. Is that what that one is? We'll jump over and we'll give it some shout out here. So this one was the Fuck Scoliosis benefit for Brandy. That's going to be for Chef's daughter. That was a special that got run, was that a month and a half ago? 2 months maybe? But I like it. Still fits the colors and all, so I am okay with that. Good look there from Queen. She looks to hold on to the back of MTB. We jump back up front. Mustang. Oh, Mustang. Not sure. Valentine was bouncing around a little bit there. Looked to be a little bit leggy. Not sure. No damage on the car, though. He'll continue on in the 7th spot. Road Atlanta, one of those tough tracks. You really got to be careful. There's a couple of those spots where you think you can make a move and there's just not room there. It tightens up real quick. This is a track that's about being patient and finding the right spots to make the passes. You get a little too aggressive and you can find yourself in a bad situation. Don't know who was at fault in that one. I mean, it looked like Mustang did catch the rear, but I'm not sure how that all started. So I will not judge that one on call. We'll see if anybody puts in a report. Hopefully they remember the reports have to be made in a direct message to me. They cannot be made in the chat. If they're made in the chat, I can't see them. I don't know if they're, like I say, I don't know if there's any other ones. The only one I got was Chef, so I can't be looking at the chat when I'm trying to get points and stuff done. The only thing I'll see is that if you shoot me a message with it. So make sure if you have an incident report for this race, it is through message. Captains or teammates, make sure your teammates know that as well that are racing now. Zaskar, though, out front, got an over a 5-second lead now, running on those mediums. Hards for Masterus. So we see strategy in play here again between these two teams. Last race, I think it was flip-flopped, wasn't it? Oh, no, it was medium. Yeah. So Infinite starts on the same tires they did last race, as well as GT7 Grease. Mustang in the 3rd spot, being chased now by Hunted. Hunted was closing, looks to be losing a little bit of ground here. Hunted up into that 4th spot, though. Tyro into the 5th spot, 1.3 back of Hunted. He's got a 2-second lead over Jose. Nice color changing scheme there on Tyro. Gotta love the color changing. Jose kind of by himself right there. Valentine fighting his way back. Boning trying to catch up to the back of Valentine. We'll see. And Queen under pressure from Fiend. Queen and Fiend. And Queen a little bit wide there. We'll lose that spot. Fiend up into the 10th spot. We got Chip, Toke, and Chris back here. Chris with a little rear end damage on his. Zaskar opened up a little bit more here. Does have the better tires. Oh, not going to be what he's looking for. Right as I switch to it, runs a little wide through turn 1. Takes her for a spin. Does pick up damage as well as he gets a little too far out there. Going to lose quite a few spots here. This is going to ruin the chances at that. Does do a good job of coming back on track and keeping it clean. Oops. So that will drop him back to the 5th spot, but that has damage on it now. So we'll see how long he rolls with that. We're only 8 minutes into this. That's going to put Masterus back out front now. 5.2 second lead over Mustang for the 1st spot. Mustang holding off Hunted right now. Got it back open to a 2.3. 1.8 back to Tyro in the 4th spot. And Zaskar losing time as it goes, and he's going to be under pressure here soon from Jose. You see there's Zaskar just pulling over and giving that spot. Knows he has a damaged automobile here. Just going to try to hold on, I think. We'll see if he decides to dive it down into the pits. And he will. He's going to go ahead and get that damage fixed. Oh, swings out a little bit wide. I think that's probably going to be the 3-second penalty for him as well. So not the way Zaskar on the Infinite Octane team wanted this to go. He'll have to do everything he can here in the next 2 stints to try to hustle it down. Mopar is going to come around and pick up that 8th spot. We jump back forward here. Looks like Hunted under pressure from Tyro. Quick laps here, only 1:14, so we will put in quite a handful of laps. I'm going to say probably about 42. as Hunted is going to feel the pressure now. Panty Droopers in Sin City Racing here being represented 3rd and 4th. Looks like Hunted gaining but losing at the same time. It drops, it goes up. Tyro not able to make that move just yet. They head through the chicane. You watch, this is a tricky one. We'll do a little onboard here with Tyro through this lap as they come around over the start-finish line. You'll see right here, turn 1 is a tricky one. Kind of drops off as you enter it. You can really swing wide. That's what got Zaskar. And then they head up into this tricky little chicane. You really got to be good on the brakes, but you don't want to cut, but you don't want to catch too much curb, and it can really launch you. And then this downhill S back up into the uphill. Another tricky spot. You want to use some of that curbing, but not too much. He will get a great run there as Hunted was a little too far out there. Will he be able to make the move into the double right-hander down at the other end of the track? And he will not yet. He's going to set it up, try to get it done down the straightaway. Honda versus Nissan heading down the straight. You can see Mustang up in the distance there, but just as we were going on, there he is right there. So maybe Tyro going to tuck in here and just try to push and try to gain as much as he can. Not able to do anything yet. I think he might just be playing his cards. Back at a half second here. We did a lap with him. Let's jump off. And he changes up front. 6.6 the lead now. 3.3 from Mustang to Hunted. Hunted still under pressure, but we're going to kind of flip through the field here, see if there's any other battles. Valentine on the back of Jose here. As they head down into the other end of the track. The double right-hander before the backstretch. This one is one hell of a set of corners. If you nail this one right, man, you feel great, and they'll head on out. Will Valentine be able to get him down the straight? Another Honda versus Nissan battle. Somebody asked if this was a one-make race. I said, no, it's a three-make race. Well, now, technically it's a two-make race because, well, that's how it goes. Yeah, unlucky to Zaz. That's a tricky corner there. Man, I've done that multiple times there where you just go that 5 feet too much, 5 yards too much, 5 meters too much, whatever you want to say. You just go a little bit too far, and man, it will, that corner will eat you up. And then once you get out in that grass, you're just sliding until you get to the wall. Jose a little bit sideways there, and that's that same corner we were just talking about. Valentine will close in on him. Will he be able to make the move just yet? Right on the tail. Kind of bouncing around there. I'm not sure if that's both. That's going to be definitely a penalty, I would imagine, for Valentine. Yeah, when I jump in the cars, these two are really jumping around quite a bit. Hopefully that's not for them. Makes it a lot harder to race with each other, but he will serve that half-second penalty here on this straight, so he'll drop some ground, so we'll flip back through the field. And Queen and Toke here battling it out for the 10th spot. Toke's going to look to the inside, and your TOK Speed Syndicate driver is going to take that spot. I was informed I did mess up the grid there. Toke was supposed to start one spot ahead of where he did, but sounds like everything's A-okay. They're okay with it. I just penalized him. I'm not sure why, but, you know, it's what I do. Just kidding. Chef, how is your daughter doing? And Queen will jump back into the 10th spot as M. Boning is into the pits for his first stop. Getting some damage fixed on there as well, and he'll roll out. Was on the sauce. Zaskar under some pressure from Chris for the final position. Well, now it's going to be for the 12th spot. Zaskar has the pit stop. Chris does have some damage, so we will just jump back up. 9.2 the lead now for Masterus. Yeah, that's a sock. You know it. Well, socks don't need friends. Mustang still holding off Hunted. He's opened up that gap just a little bit, but now Hunted back under pressure again from Tyro. Tyro's going to try to close back in. These two have been within about a second and a half now for quite a few laps as we are heading in over the 15-minute mark now, so we're a quarter of the way into this thing. We'll start seeing some pit stops here again. Your soft runners probably a little earlier. Your medium hard runners are going to definitely run this as long as they can, because I don't think you can get a full fuel stint out of your soft, so they'll try to make it as long as they can here. Hunted will serve a penalty down this straight. That will give Tyro the advantage. You'll see it right here as they come up over the top of this hill on the straightaway. Double yellows right there on the side. You'll see Hunted now disappear for a second. And that will be the difference of a half-second penalty. You lose the spot and roughly about 8, 9 tenths now that he lost there. So that's going to move Tyro into the third spot. So Tyro with a good run here up onto the podium. Tyro for Sin City Racing started in the 7th spot, got himself up to 3rd. And has opened that gap now even a little bit more over Hunted. Valentine 17 back of them. We see Jose. Oh no, Valentine off in the grass. Not what he was looking for. I think that's that same spot. That's at turn 1. Turn 1 to get you as Mopar is closing down on the back of Valentine now. Fiend for Speed trying to close in on the back of Mopar. That's 5th, 6th, and 7th. We got Zaskar, Chip, Jose, Queen, Crash, and Chris, Toke, and Boning round out the field as pit stops have started heavy. That's good. That's good, Chef. Good to see. Good to hear. Nine seconds to lead here for your GT7 Grease driver. This Grease team has come in and been dominant today and yesterday, as he has yet to pit here. So Masterus, your leader, 18 minutes in here, 42 to go. Mustang in second. You can see this track is so short that the lapped cars have now dropped back and are quite a ways back there if they have already pit. So this would be a true test for front and back of the field. Navigating each other on the track is always fun, and this track makes it a little more interesting. Like you say, there's not clear-cut passing everywhere on this track. You got to really be patient. You got to make the right move. So it's kind of on both your lead lap cars and your lap cars. Tyro is closing in a little bit here on Bottle Fed Mustang. I think he was about 3 seconds behind not too long ago. Hunted dropped back to about 1.6 in that 4th spot. See some pit stops still to be done. Some damage on Fiend. Zaskar made his stop earlier after the damage. We'll see kind of where this cycles through for everybody. If Zaskar can stretch those next 2 stints, he can make it to the end on those 2 stops. Jump back over as Tyro here as he does a little hunting on that bottle-fed Mustang. In that Honda NSX heading down the straight. You see there, that's the gap. 1.7 on the clock. We'll see who's going to bring this one home. Masterus, your leader, into the pits here with 10 liters left. Hard tires on there, so now he is going to go softer tires. I'm going to go probably medium, so he can end on soft. But now it makes me wonder how that soft stint's going to go, because I don't think soft tires can last that long. Second here. Leaving a little note for everybody, since they can't hear me. We are back at it here. And we are on. Bottle-fed Mustang consumed the lead as Masters pit. Masters dropped to 4th after the pit stop. But there you see it. He has... Tyro got it down to 1.5 now. It was 1.7 a little bit ago, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. As they get to the end of this first stint, mediums on both, pretty even on the tire wear, but Mr. Fuel Saver, Tyro, got quite a bit more fuel on there. I think that's going to be the key here, because I do think that soft stint's going to be a killer. I don't think you can make it 20 minutes on those. So the longer you can make the medium and the hard stint only makes it easier for your softs. Hunted dropped back to about 4 seconds now, but still holding on to that 3rd spot. Like I say, Masters has pit. Mopar yet to pit, sitting in the 5th spot. Zaskar had that earlier pit. Like I say, we'll see how long he can stretch his out, but he's in the 6th spot as of now. We got Chip and Crash and Chris, 7th and 8th, both yet to pit. Toke, the first of these cars that have pit, in the 9th spot with Valentine right on his tail. Or maybe he just made the move and got around Valentine, because he is opening up that gap here. 1 second is the gap between them. Oh, now it closed down a little bit more. Bottle-fed Mustang and Hunted Steel into the pits. Tyro continues on, will consume the lead. We'll see Masters move up into the 2nd spot after these pit stops. And then once Tyro pits, he will consume the lead, but so far it has been an interesting one. Toke closing in on the back of Chris. Looks like Chris diving down into the pits. Had to give Toke the 8th spot. Yep, 8th spot. As Valentine now has opened up over that one. So we will jump through here, see if there's any other close ones. Tyro sitting at 18.5 right now over Masters, but that is not enough to gain that. But we'll see how this works out for him as these pit stops cycle out into the next stint. Like I say, I'd imagine he's going to go medium to hard here so he can end on the softs. Masters with a 15-second lead now over Bottle-fed Mustang. Mustang under some pressure now. He's got Mopar closing in. Mopar still has not yet pit, so he will be pitting here in the next lap or two. Also a good strategy for him. He will continue on one more lap, so we'll see how many laps he's going to do on that first set of hards. They are required to run 1 stint on each tire, so they're going to have to run a soft, a medium, and a hard. We saw quite a mixture of tires there in that first stint. Mostly mediums and hards, though, not too many softs to start it. but they are still running this thing down. Looks like Mustang holding them off at about just under 8/10. Zaskar going to be maybe under pressure here from Hunted, as Hunted looks to be closing in on him. Let's see, in the pits for Chip, getting that fuel put in. So we'll kind of wait here and make sure everybody pits, and then we'll do a through the field, but we'll keep an eye on this battle right now. Like I say, ultimately not going to matter when it comes down to it, because these two are separated by a pit stop. Interesting that Mustang here on the softs is losing time though. Oh, and there you see it, Mopar down into the pits, so that's going to be his pit stop. Tyro is still chugging along there on those mediums. That lead cut down to 16 seconds. Like I say, he's still got a pit, so that's not going to ultimately matter. But if you look over there on the right, very consistent on those lap times. A little bit of bouncing around, but still overall pretty consistent there to see those laps. We'll stay on board here as Tyro heads into this final chicane. See those brake rotors glowing as nighttime begins to set in. Tyro still going to continue on. Holy crap, this guy's a fuel master. He's stretching these mediums. This is going to make his hard stint a lot less, I believe, so we'll see what he decides to do, though. But he continues on, holds on to that lead, 15.5 up on Masteris. Masteris will consume the lead once Tyro pits. And Masteris, you know, holding out, doing his best P-Gram impression. P-Gram was very dominant yesterday in the races he was in. I did post it about in the announcement. If you weren't there or not in that, you didn't see it, but the GT7 Grease team yesterday, 3 wins and 5 podiums in 5 races. What that means is they were on top of their game. 200 points were available yesterday for the top, and 198 is what they brought in, so they only missed out on 2 points on the whole day. So very dominant fashion, sets them up great for the final 3 rounds today. We're on round 7. We only got one more after this, and we're almost halfway through this one. Tyro down into the pits. That is going to be... It'd be interesting to see where he ends up, as we'll jump on and see where he pulls back out. Let's see, Mustang going to come down now around the final corner. And I ain't going to lie, it looks like Tyro's going to pull out in the second spot. Nope, not quite. Tyro just coming out of the pits will consume third place. Zaskar, with that odd pit stop earlier, made it a little more interesting. Let's see, he's going to be 2.42, just under 2 now. Hunted, though, did lose quite a bit of ground to Tyro under that set. Let's see, Tyro 4.3 back of Mustang after the pit sequence. But that being said, oh, he's on the softs right now. Oh, I see what you guys are up to. Very interesting. So Mustang and Tyro both onto the softs, Masteris onto the mediums. So Masteras, I don't know. Anyways, he's got such a lead now, it's not really going to matter what his tire strategy is, but he's got a set of softs left to run, and honestly, that's just going to help him. Tyro closing in on that gap just a little bit there, opens back up, now back down. Like I say, it's always fun to watch that as they run around the track. As they come across the line, though, 3.5 is going to be the gap between second and third place. Zaskar coming around over the line there. He's going to see that about the same back behind him. Back to Hunted. Token the 6th spot. Valentine 7th. Jose the Gray right now in 8th. Holding off M. Boning. And don't look now. Boning under pressure. We got a battle between Mopar and Boning. And looks like Mopar will take that spot. So Mopar up into 9th. Boning back to 10th as they are going to try to chase down Jose. Oh no, Jose spins. Boning does get by without damage. Jose must have caught that grass out there. He's got it back up and running though, so tough luck there for Jose as he just caught some of that grass. Took her for a spin. Did he grab damage? No, he didn't. So great job there by the driver. So Boning trying to close back down on the back of Mopar for that 7th spot now. Somebody pit. I thought that. Oh, Fiend's in the pit, so that's why. Queen and Chip Reese back at it. They were at it earlier. You can see just what it looks like here at the nighttime. We'll ride along here with Chip as he's trying to get that 11th spot for Queen. Chip for Victory Pace Racing, Queen for the Misfits. As they battle it out for the 11th spot. Queen gets a good run down the back straight, led down into the chicane. Tricky little chicane here. Got to be careful coming up over the hill to not spin her around. Once you get to here, you're gas up, and you can usually make it through this first corner, or this last corner, full throttle. They'll head down into that first corner. We've seen some sliding around down here. We'll see how both drivers do. Oh, you can see just how much Chip can gain there. Oh man, this is a tricky spot to be side by side. Queen thinks better of it and says, no, you can have the spot for now. I'll cross you over, get back side by side. Will not be able to make the move though. Queen will tuck back in and try to catch back up to Chip here. Was a bold move, but both drivers did a great job to make it through there safely, and Chip will open up now. So 20 seconds your lead back to Bottle-Fed Mustang for Masters. One of the things we know is I had to do it 91 wagon. It's even the same person. So Masters just put, let's see, that is the 10th place car a lap down. Who is that? That is going to be Toke. So Masters with this short track really putting the hustle on here. 20-second lead over Mustang. Mustang 2.6 now over Tyro. So closing in a little bit is Tyro, but not a ton. We do have a yellow up ahead. Looking at the map, looks like everybody is up and running. Oh, it looks like Chris maybe had an issue at the chicane. He'll dive down into the pits. As Tyro 2.6. Oh, nope, Chris didn't. He just gave the room and let the lead lap car by. That'll move Tyro around him, and sitting in the 3rd spot, holding on to that final podium spot. He has grown his lead a little bit on Hunted. Hunted got a good gap behind him to Valentine. Valentine 6.5 in front of Mopar. Mopar pulled away just a little bit on Boning after that pass. Zaskar has made another pit stop on those softs. He will go around Boning. Looks like Boning down into the pits. So our second set of pit stops have begun. There it is. Be interesting to see how this one plays out. Lots of different strategies going on here in this 60-minute race. Masters coming around through the midsection of the track, just really nailed in today. This GT7 Grease team has been on fire. Gap the same back here from Mustang to Tyro. Been right in that 2.5 to 2.7 gap for quite a while now. As Tyro looks like negotiating a lap car back there. I believe that's Chip Reese, maybe. Boning is who he just got around, looks like. Oh, Chip right there. So a couple of lap cars. Looks like Chip and Boning, though. Oh, Chip gave space there, but he's got a few positional cars here, so this always makes it a little more interesting. So you see Hundred is about to run into this. There's 3 lap cars right there. This is where it gets interesting on a short track like this. The lap cars, they're allowed to race each other, but they do have to be mindful of that lead lap car. I'm not saying you got to pull over by any means, as Chip looks like diving down into the pits. So that will make it one less lap car he'll have to deal with. For now, he's looking to put Chris a lap down and see what he can do. Has gained a little bit on Tyro. Tyro not changed too much here. Let's take a look at our lap times. On mediums here, Masteris, the last one was a 12.8. Battlefed Mustang a 14.1, but them softs are getting worn. Tyro, a little fresher softs, has a 13.8 on his. So I'd imagine here in the next 2 to 3 laps, we're going to see Tyro start to cut that lead down, or that gap down to Mustang. Hunt had been right around that 6-second mark for a while now behind. As Chris does pull off to the side there and give space to Hunted as he goes by. These two familiar with each other over from Monkey Mafia Esports. So definitely familiarity between them. Valentine holding on to the top 5 here. He's got Mopar about 5.5 back. Mopar under pressure from Zaskar. So we jump on board with Zaskar as they'll head down the back straight. This would be the spot to do it. Does he have a good enough run? Will he have enough draft? He's giving him the old flashy. Ooh, is this a flashy? Oh no, he is going to pull out. I thought he was going to tuck it in and draft. Side by side down into the chicane. Let's see how this one works. Ooh, a little bit of a squeeze there. Settle it down, you two. It's a tough spot to be side by side. Didn't see anything wrong there. Looks like a little bit of rubbing, but what we don't want to see is somebody get hooked, but that was a tough spot in that chicane to be side by side. Definitely not ideal. Still over 20 minutes to go. Another spot. This is going to be a tricky one. This is tricky stuff to be side by side through here. So both drivers being a little bit more aggressive than I think either of them wants to be. Ooh, some flashy. Yeah, definitely getting spicy here. Okay with it so far, but they got to be careful. What they don't want to do is take each other out, and then it ruins both their shots at this and holding on to these positions. So we see Masteris, your leader, into the pits. He'll drop down the line for now, but he'll obviously, after everybody else pits, he'll take his spot back over because he was 20 seconds ahead. All right, Zaskar looks to settle it back in and get back around. Say this is a track where you can get caught just rolling behind somebody because you can't get the run in the right spots, and that's when that happens, where you get just a little bit more aggressive. You're like, man, I got to make this pass now. Oh no, somebody off. I don't know who that was. Chip closing in on the back though. Whoever it was off over there, I don't think it was anybody that was... Actually, yeah, was that Valentine? It was. Oh no, Valentine took engine damage as well. That is never a good thing here. So we jump back over as Zaskar, going to try to set this up down the straightaway. We've got the back straight heading into that chicane. We saw it before. He got to him, got there, but couldn't get around and clear him, and that made a side-by-side into the chicane. And honestly, if you go side-by-side into that chicane, expect contact. As long as it's not heavy contact, I got nothing for it, because honestly, you're going to go side by side into that. That's all on you. And they dive down into the chicane. Zaskar did not have the run that time, so Mopar will hold on to that 5th spot. Bottle-fed Mustang into the pits. Looks like he's already got his fuel in. We'll be heading out here. We'll hold on to that 4th spot, going on to the hards for this final stint. So now Tyro and Hunted, 1st and 2nd, still to pit. We're on board here with this one. We are going to see where this ends up. I wonder what that gap was between Tyro and Mustang before the pit stop, because I know it was getting close there for a little while. I will jump over to those here in just a minute. Once this, I mean, I'm going to watch this battle. Oh, a little bit of contact there. They'll continue on. Wouldn't call any penalty out of that. Just a little bit of aggressive driving. But these two have been battling out for 3 or 4 laps. And at Road Atlanta, you got to take any chance you can get. And Mopar going to look to get side by side. Here we are, side by side with the chicane. He decides better of it. Zaskar holds on to that spot. Oops. All right, let's jump back up. Looks like Hunted has pit. No, he must have had an off. Maybe not. Tyro, your leader right now, just finishing up his soft stint. He'll jump over to, I believe, he's going to be on the hards here for the next one. We'll see how long he decides to take these softs. Master is easily going to retake that lead after the pit stop, but he's trying to get it before. And Tyro will dive in there. That's going to give Masterus the leader back. And he will consume that lead and open it back up. He's on a set of softs here trying to run to the end. Or maybe he's going to two-stop the softs here to finish it up. We will have to see, but he will open up his lead. Hunted right now, 1.5 back, still to pit for Hunted. He's on those mediums. I believe he's going to have a set of softs left, if I remember right. Because I think he was on hards the first one. So Tyro in the 3rd spot. He'll come out of the pits, and looks like he will hold on to that 3rd position. Zaskar and Bottle-Fed Mustang now got a battle going on. Looks like Mopar dropped back just a little bit. Mustang with the fresh hards on there, going to try to close in on Zaskar. We jump back forward with yellow flag. Looks like everybody moving on the map, so it must have just been getting over. Hunted is closing in on the back of Masters, but like I say, I don't think it's going to matter, because he still has at least one more pit stop. Masters maybe trying to run to the end. We'll have to see how far he extends those softs. If he's able to take them over 20 minutes. Right now we are at 17 minutes and some change to go. So 17 minutes, we're looking at probably about 14, 13 laps, something like that. Sitting at the 35 lap mark right now. Masters on the back of Boning, trying to put him a lap down. That's going to be your 8th place driver. You can see just how short the track is by that. We're going to have almost half the field under. Actually, this would be half the field if he does get around him. And he will here after this couple of set of corners, because Boning will have to serve a penalty. So we'll see Masters be able to go around him as he serves his penalty. He pulls off to the right-hand side. Hunted lost a little bit of ground there during that. And Masters is out in front. 7 cars on the lead lap here. And we see some more into the pits. Who's that? That's going to be Valentine into the pit. Looks like he has got some damage to be taken care of, and it has just gotten done. He'll pull back out. That drops him all the way back to the back. Not the race he was looking for. As Masters cross the line, Hunted still chugging along on those tires. We'll have to see. He's only got a couple laps left of fuel, so we'll see how long he decides to take that. Looks like, I'm going to guess Tyro will consume that spot after it's all said and done. Tyro got some pressure from behind from Zaskar still. Zas will have to pit one more time. We'll see when he decides to make that move, but for now, Tyro holding the spot. Not too far behind him is Bottle-Fed Mustang. We'll jump back over here and just check that one in a minute. Oh, and Zaskar! No, not what he was looking for. Takes some damage on that one, and he'll pull away. We'll have to pit yet again. Mustang 2.1 back. Hunted, losing a lot of time to Masters, so Masters just got to bring this one home. Let's see what his tires look like with 15 to go. He's definitely going to have to pit one more time. But that isn't going to matter because look at the lead he's already got. Hunted still has to pit, and I'm going to imagine we're going to see that here on the next lap. Tyro in the third spot. We'll see if he can overlap. It looks like he's gaining quite a bit of ground here on Hunted. Hunted have any damage? No, he doesn't. So I think it's about a 30 to 31 in the pits, so I do believe Tyro should be able to take that second spot away. Tyro still holding on to that third spot. We see him cutting down, got it to 25, just under 26 right now. Mustang in the fourth spot, Hunted into the pits, so we'll see where this cycles through. We'll jump on with Tyro. Tyro come around, Hunted pulling back out now. Don't think he will have enough to get that through. No, he will not. He will lose the second spot. Let's see when he pulls out. Oh, he's going to drop back. He's all the way to fifth. From fifth back to sixth, so well over a minute. So let's see, Toke get to pit. So right now, your running order as it stands, Masters out in front, 36 seconds on the clock. He'll definitely have to pit one more time for, and I would imagine take another set of softs here. I would imagine we'll see that one in about 2 laps as he comes around to start this lap. Ooh, a little bit wide there. You can see that left front starting to give up a little bit on him as he went through that first corner. Pushing and pushing, pushing, then he had to adjust, and when he did, it kind of kicked a little bit, so he's just going to have to bring this thing nice and steady. A couple more laps, get another set of softs, and make a run to the end. He will have probably about a 6 or 7 second gap when he comes in for that pit stop. Tyro in the second spot. 2.6 back to Mustang. Tyro with a good run here after some fuel strategy early on, finds himself in the second spot. Right now, Bottle-Fed Mustang holds on to your final podium position. Got about a 6.5 second lead over Hunted for that spot. We'll see how that one plays out as it goes. Hunted still in the fourth spot. He was 8/10 up on Toke, but Toke still had to pit. Toke into the pits right now. We'll see. Is he going to be able to hold on to that? Oh, he got fuel. He's starting to pull out. Let's see if Mopar is able to get the fifth spot from him. If not, I think we may have a battle on track here soon. Right there. Oh yeah, this is going to be a good one. And there you see it. Boning just gets around him for the sixth spot. Fresh set of softs over a little bit of a used set of mediums. We'll see if Toke's able to catch him. dive down in here. He is closing in on the back of him. Will he be able to get the move done down this straight? Looking to take over that 6th position. Every point will count now because this will be for the starting grid. So you want as many points as you can get here to help your team in those overall points. Makes the move to the outside. Oh, got a little bit loose there. We'll dive it down under the inside. Boning squeezes him off just a little bit. Like I say, tough spot to try to go side by side. I don't know that I would have tried that one personally, but you know. Boning did cut it off just a little bit. Toke will fall back in line. He's definitely got the pace over, and there you see Masters back into the pits. Grabbing a little bit of fuel, and he'll roll out. Thank goodness that was a ghosted queen as she came out of the pits, because that was a close one. He got a little bit loose. Slid over, and I thought it was going to be a bad incident, but nope. Luckily, she was ghosted. As we see this battle, they are trying. Toke trying to get around him. Boning trying to hold on to that spot. Sees Ascar down the back straight, about 6 seconds back of this battle, so these two want to race each other, but they don't want to race too hard. Ascar closed in on the back of that one. As we jump back forward, let's see kind of where everybody falls. After the pit stop, Masters holds on to a 9.5 second lead. Fresh set of sauce and plenty of fuel to go to the end here. 8.5 minutes to go. Looking at probably about 7 laps to go, so we will see. Masters just got to bring it home. Doesn't have to over push to bring this one back either. And there he goes. Tyro in the second spot, 9.5 back. 2.5 in front of Mustang for the second spot. Final podium spot as they run right now. 2 seconds back. 6.5 behind him to Hunted. That's going to be a bottle-fed Mustang. Hunted in the 4th spot. Got a good gap back to 5th, who's Mopar. Mopar has Boning and Toke about 5 seconds back, so these two are back to battling, so we're going to stay on board here. Looks like Toke did get around him. And side by side, we're going to do this again. Thought better of it this time, didn't quite have enough to get around him, so he'll come back in. Oh, Boning does. Oh, I didn't realize he has to pit yet, so he'll dive off into the pits. That's going to drop him down the order. So that's going to open up Toke here, all on his own for 6. Zascar, let's see where he will end up. About 6 seconds back at Toke. Gap. Plenty of gaps for there. Everybody else kind of cleared out. Right now, looks like Hunted and Mustang may be the closest one. That is, we're going to go back to that one. Hunted closing down on the back of Mustang. He's got it to 1.2 here for the final podium spot. As we close in, just under 7 minutes to go. The whatever, I'm not even going to try. Oh, Hunted into the pit. Why into the pits? Hunted, what are you doing? Other than disappearing. Whoa, where'd he go? Not sure why he chose to pit there, but he was definitely closing in on the back of Mustang for that podium spot. Mopar coming around the final corner now. Don't think he'll get around him. Hunted's not going to lose a spot, but he was definitely going to gain. I think he had enough to go to the end, so not sure why he chose that one. Yeah, because Mustang on hards here. I don't know if he didn't think the softs were going to make it. There you see the gap now. Now he's got a battle behind him. Under 8/10. Down to half a second. Under half a second. Oh, here we go. We are about to battle, so we're going to jump on board with Hunt. Whoops, went too far. As we ride along with Mopar. Mopar is going to look to get this 4th spot away. Yet again, another battle inside the top 5. We've had a ton of these throughout all the rounds. Oh yeah, Masters is definitely. He's been. You guys have been on top of it. Oh, and some damage. So he'll continue on, but gonna lose tons of ground. And actually, don't look now. Toke's right behind him. Gonna close in on him. He might lose that 5th spot now. Right along here. The battle for 5th place rages on. Mopar with some damage. Got some softs versus some softs, but the damage is going to hurt Mopar as Toke's going to look to the inside here. Not sure about that one. That was a tough one, but Mopar is going to take some heavy damage there and have to continue on. Zascar will go by as well. Not sure exactly what happened there. Looked like a little bit of contact, and then it just went downhill from there. So we'll have to see if any reports are made. Once again, if you're going to make a report, make sure you message it to me, or else it will not be seen and not be looked at. As we jump back forward, Masters up to a 15-second lead. Got those fresh softs. He's just cruising along at this point. Just got to bring it home. Toke is your fast lap with an 11.767, so good lap by him. And Masters up over the hill. There you see it. Across the line with 3.5, just under 3.5 minutes to go. Roughly about 3 laps. I say 3 laps, actually. So 3 laps to go for Masters. Tyro holding on to that 2nd spot. Bottlefed Mustang in 3rd. Hunted did open up away from Toke now. Not able to catch Mustang. So let's see, is there anything going on? 1.5 back here from Jose to Boning. Let's see if that develops anything. Mopar out of the pits now. Valentine behind Queen. We'll see if he's able to do anything. It's be for the 11th spot. Valentine trying to work his way back through the field here. It's really hard to ride on the board. Oh, and Queen off the track there. Does recover and gets it back on, but will lose that 11th spot. 17-year gap up front still. Not able to do anything with that yet. Oh, and just as I say that, Jose runs a little bit wide as they're going to put the car of Crisp a lap down of them. I think that's going to be a couple now. Jose's going to take a look, not going to be able to get it done right there. Got to be careful here going into the chicane. And will be patient there. Not quite time to do it. They're going to have 1 lap to go now. So 1 lap to go. Let's see where Masters is at. He is on his last lap. I do believe this will be his last lap. So we'll ride along with Masters. 30 seconds left on the clock. I don't believe he's getting around here in 30 seconds, so... No, he is not. So this is the final lap for Masters. This is going to be the Grease team taking the lead. Final backstretch, final chicane. One more time up and over the hill here for round number 7 in Petit LeMonkey. Your winner, GT7 Grease Driver, Masteris, coming across the start-finish line right now. So GT7 Grease continues the dominance. Zaskar in the 6th spot already across the line. Tyro the next make it. Tyro with a good start here. Tyro into the 2nd spot. That is going to help his team out. Don't know if they're going to have enough to jump. Oh, there's a couple people right in front of them here. This is actually going to be a tight battle. We'll have to see how this turns out. Tyro over the line. Bottle-fed Mustang coming over the corners for the last few times. And across the line, that's going to be your podium. Bottle-fed Mustang. Hunted, Steel, and Toke, your top 5. They're going to come through here the final time. Hunted holds on to that 4th spot. It's a P4 for Hunted, Steel. And Toke going to come around here. Final few corners, and he's going to cross the line with a top 5 for the TOK Speed Syndicate driver. Behind that, we got Zaskar, Boning, Jose the Gray, Mopar, Fiend, Valentine, Queen, Chip, and Chris. Remember, remind your teammates, if they are going to file a report, it needs to be sent to me. If it is not, it will not be looked at.